September 13, 1926. After making my usual rounds in the divine will, I was asking my good Jesus, on behalf of his creation and redemption and all men from the first to the last, on behalf of the sovereign Queen and all she did and suffered, that the supreme fiat be known so that his kingdom would be established and enter into its full triumph and dominion. And as I did this, I thought to myself, if Jesus himself wants so much that his kingdom be established among creatures, then why does he want us to ask for it so insistently? If he wants, he can give it without so many continuous requests. Then my sweet Jesus, moving within me, said,
My daughter, my supreme being possesses perfect equilibrium and remains so when it gives creatures my gifts and graces, and more so in giving this kingdom of my supreme fiat, which is the greatest of gifts and which I gave to man at the beginning of creation and was so ungratefully rejected by him. Do you think it a small matter to place the divine will with all the goods it contains at the disposal of mankind, not just for 1 hour or 1 day but for life? Or that the Creator deposit in a creature his adorable will in order to share with the creature his likeness, his beauty, his oceans of wealth, of joy and endless happiness? Merely by possessing our will a creature acquires the right of ownership in common, of likeness, and of all the goods of his Creator. Without our supreme fiat a creature has nothing in common with us, and if he does manage to take something, it is as mere droplets, small crumbs, pennies from among our infinite riches. And then to have such a gift rejected, a gift so great, a happiness so immense, a right to divine likeness, acquiring the nobility of belonging to our family. Do you think it a simple matter for the divine sovereignty to give this kingdom of the divine fiat to creatures without it being requested or anyone giving the slightest thought to it or having the slightest desire to receive it? It would be a repetition of the history of the earthly paradise, and perhaps worse. Furthermore, our justice would be justly opposed to this. This is the reason for everything I ask you to do, all your continuous rounds in the supreme will, your unceasing prayers calling for my will to come and reign. Your life of sacrifice over so many years during which you know neither heaven nor earth. A life dedicated to the sole end of calling down my kingdom. These are like repeated supports before my justice to surrender its rights. Justice, then, in balance with all our other attributes, finds it just that the kingdom of the supreme fiat with all the good it contains be restored to human generations. The same thing occurred in the redemption. If our justice had not found the prayers, the sighs, the tears, the penances of the patriarchs, prophets, and all the good people of the Old Testament and, moreover, a virgin queen who possessed our will integrally and who took everything upon herself with so many unceasing prayers, taking upon herself the work of making satisfaction for all the human race, our justice never would have conceded to the descent of the desired Redeemer among creatures. Our justice would have been inexorable and would have given a resounding no to my coming to earth. Because, my daughter, when it comes to maintaining the equilibrium of our supreme being, it is not about doing nothing. Besides, who, until now, has ever requested with interest, with insistence, sacrificing his own life so that the kingdom of the supreme fiat might come over the earth and that it triumph and establish its dominion? No one. It is true that ever since I came to the earth the Church prays the Our Father, which asks that my kingdom come so that my will be done on earth as it is in heaven. But who thinks of what they are asking for? It can be said that all the importance of this request remained in my will and that creatures pray it only to pray it, without really comprehending, nor having real interest in obtaining what they are asking for. Do you see now, my daughter, why it could not be given before? Since everything on this earth is cloaked in secret and seems a mystery and man can scarcely acquire but the slightest understanding of anything. Man always has something to say about everything I reveal through my creatures. He even goes so far as to say, why hasn't this good, this knowledge, been given to us earlier if there have been such great saints? But in eternity there are no secrets. I will reveal everything and will make all my just actions visible so that all will see that my justice could never have given my will to creatures if it had not found sufficient acts to justify giving what the Supreme Majesty was desirous of giving. It is true that everything that creatures do is by my grace, but the same grace wants to find the affirmation, disposition, and goodwill of creatures. Therefore, to re-establish the kingdom of my will on earth, there must be sufficient acts by creatures to keep my kingdom from remaining suspended and enable it to descend and take form upon the very acts which creatures have formed in order to obtain such an immense good. This is why I urge you so much to make your rounds in all our works, our creation and redemption. I do it to have you contribute your acts, your I love you, your adoration, your recognition and your thank yous over all our works. Many times I have made these rounds with you. And, as you finish your journey in our will, you repeated, to honor us, your refrain which is so pleasing to us. Supreme Majesty, your little daughter comes before you. And I sit on your paternal knees, to request your fiat, your kingdom, that it may be known by all. I ask for the triumph of your will so that it will establish its dominion and reign in all. I am not alone in making this request. Together with me are all your works, your own will. Therefore, on behalf of all, I request, I beg your fiat. Oh, if you only knew how powerfully your refrain impacts our supreme being. We feel ourselves asking for all our works and begging for our own volition. Heaven and earth kneel to petition the kingdom of our eternal volition. Then, if, in truth, you want this kingdom, continue with your acts so that when the established number has been completed, you can obtain that for which you sigh with such much insistence.